Hello, everyone. I'm Natasha, and today we are going to spend some quality time together, improving your English speaking fluency. I want you to imagine that we're sitting in a quiet, comfortable space, just you and me, talking in English, exploring ideas, and practicing sentences until they feel natural and effortless. This is your time to slow down, focus, and allow English to become a language you think and speak in without hesitation. We're going to use real-life situations, friendly conversations, and lots of practice to make your English flow more smoothly. No rushing, no pressure, just simple, clear speaking. That builds your confidence. Step by step. Throughout this session, I'll guide you through examples, and you'll have the chance to repeat after me, shadow my speech, and create your own sentences. The more you speak, the more natural it will feel. Before we begin, take a deep breath. Let your shoulders relax. Clear your mind of any distractions. This is your English time, your chance to speak freely, make mistakes, correct them, and learn in a way that feels enjoyable. I'll be speaking slowly and clearly so you can follow along easily and focus on how words sound, how sentences flow, and how meaning connects naturally. Let's warm up together. I'll say a sentence, and you can repeat it after me. I am ready to improve my English. Say it again. This time, with more confidence. I am ready to improve my English. Now, let's try another one. Speaking English feels easier every day. Good. Each time you repeat, imagine yourself using these sentences in real conversations. In today's practice, we'll talk about things you do in your everyday life, simple conversations you might have with friends, at work, in a shop, or while traveling. You'll learn how to make your sentences more fluent, how to connect words naturally, and how to express your thoughts clearly without stopping to translate in your head. We'll start with something easy. Imagine you meet a friend in the morning. You smile and say, "Good morning, how are you today?" Now, you listen to their reply. Maybe they say, "I'm good, thank you." And you? You answer, "I'm great, thank you for asking." This is a short, simple exchange, but it's the kind of moment where fluency really matters. It's about responding quickly, naturally, and warmly to practice. I want you to repeat after me, slowly. Good morning. How are you today? Again. Good morning. How are you today? Now, answer. I'm good. Thank you. And you? Try it one more time, but with a smile in your voice. Fluency comes from repeating these small, everyday exchanges until they become automatic. You don't have to think about the grammar or the exact words. You just respond naturally. And the more we practice together, the faster your brain will recognize patterns and respond without hesitation. When you practice speaking, it's important to use both your mouth and your mind actively. Speaking is not only about knowing words, it's about connecting your thoughts to those words quickly. Imagine that your brain is a bridge between your ideas and your speech. the stronger that bridge becomes. 2. The faster your ideas can cross into words. One way to strengthen this bridge is shadowing. This means you listen to me and immediately copy what I say without waiting too long. You follow my rhythm, my tone, and my pronunciation. Let's try this now. I'll say, I'm happy to see you today. You say it right after me. I'm happy to see you today. Now again, but a little faster. I'm happy to see you today. Shadowing works because it trains your mouth to move in English patterns. In your daily life, you might shadow English from videos, podcasts, or conversations. But today, you're shadowing me. Let's keep going. It's a beautiful day outside. Again, it's a beautiful day outside. When you shadow, you don't need to stop and think about every word. You just let the sounds flow. Over time, your mouth learns these movements like a habit. Just as a musician learns to play notes without looking at their hands, you'll speak English without needing to think about every sound. Now, let's imagine you're ordering coffee at a cafe. You walk up to the counter and say, "Hi, can I have a medium latte, please?" Repeat after me. "Hi, can I have a medium latte, please?" The barista smiles and says, "Sure, would you like anything else?" You reply, "No, that's all, thank you." Say it with me. "No, that's all, thank you." You see how quick and simple this is, but practicing it now means you'll say it naturally in real life without freezing or searching for words. And that's fluency. It's about having these sentences ready in your mind so they come out smoothly. Here's another example. Imagine you're at the supermarket and you can't find something. You ask an employee, "Excuse me, where can I find the bread?" Repeat that slowly. "Excuse me, where can I find the bread?" The employee might say, "It's in aisle 3. You respond, "Thank you very much." Again, "Thank you very much." Small exchanges like these are perfect fluency practice because they're short, real, and useful. Every time you practice them, your speaking muscles get stronger. One of the secrets to speaking more fluently is to connect your sentences instead of speaking in short, disconnected bursts. Think about how you talk in your native language. You don't stop after every word. You let your ideas flow into each other. The same should happen in English. Let's try linking sentences together. Imagine you're meeting a new colleague. Instead of saying, "Hi, I'm Alex. I work in marketing," you can join them smoothly. "Hi, I'm Alex, and I work in marketing." Feel how the words join together, like a small river flowing without rocks to stop it. Now you try. Repeat after me slowly. "Hi, I'm Alex, and I work in marketing." Again, a little faster. "Hi, I'm Alex, and I work in marketing." Another example. Instead of saying, "I like pizza, I eat it every weekend," you can join them naturally. "I like pizza, and I eat it every weekend." Repeat that. "I like pizza, and I eat it every weekend." Linking sentences is a small skill, but it makes your English sound more natural and confident. When you practice this, imagine you're talking to someone you know well. Your words should feel comfortable and warm, not stiff or robotic. Now, Let's build a mini dialogue together. Imagine you're at a bookstore. You walk up to the cashier and say, "Hi, do you have the new mystery novel by Sarah Black?" Repeat that. "Hi, do you have the new mystery novel by Sarah Black?" The cashier says, "Let me check." "Yes, we do. It's right over here." You answer, "Thank you so much. I've been looking for it for weeks." Repeat after me. "Thank you so much. I've been looking for it for weeks." When you repeat these examples, don't just copy my voice. Feel the meaning. Picture yourself in the situation. If you can see the scene in your mind, your sentences will sound more alive. Let's try a little visualization exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you're at a sunny park. You meet a friend and you say, "It's such a nice day, isn't it?" They smile and reply, "Yes, the weather is perfect for a walk." You answer, "Let's walk by the lake. It's so peaceful there." Now, open your eyes and say the whole exchange again with me. When you use your imagination in practice, you give your words a home, you give them a setting, and that makes them easier to remember. Another important part of fluency is learning to respond quickly to common questions. In real life, people often ask simple things, and if you can answer without thinking too much, your confidence will grow. Let's practice. I'll ask a question, and you answer right away. "How was your weekend?" You might say, "It was great. I met some friends, and we had dinner together." Repeat that with me. "It was great. I met some friends, and we had dinner together." What do you usually have for breakfast? You could reply, "I usually have toast and tea, but sometimes I make eggs." Repeat, "I usually have toast and tea, but sometimes I make eggs." Do you like traveling? Try answering, "Yes, I love traveling, especially to new cities where I can explore and try different foods." Repeat that. "Yes, I love traveling, especially to new cities where I can explore and try different foods." See how each answer gives more than just yes or no? That's the key. Adding a little detail makes you sound more fluent and keeps the conversation going. Now imagine you're at a social gathering and someone asks, "Where are you from?" You might say, "I'm from Karachi. It's a busy city with amazing food and friendly people." Say it again with me. "I'm from Karachi. It's a busy city with amazing food and friendly people." Adding descriptions makes your English richer. If you only say, "I'm from Karachi," the conversation might end quickly, but by adding extra details, you invite the other person to respond and continue talking. Let's practice building longer answers from short ones. If I ask, "Do you like reading?" and you say, "Yes," it's short, but you could say, "Yes, I really enjoy reading mystery novels, especially in the evenings before bed." Now you try. Repeat. "Yes, I really enjoy reading mystery novels, especially in the evenings before bed." We can do the same with, "What's your favorite hobby?" Instead of saying, "I like painting," you could say, "I like painting because it relaxes me and lets me express my creativity." Say it. "I like painting because it relaxes me and lets me express my creativity." These fuller answers are like adding color to a sketch. The more detail you give, the more interesting and natural your speaking becomes. When you practice English, think of it as building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But muscles don't grow by lifting something heavy once. They grow by lifting smaller things, many times. That's why daily, simple practice is more effective than speaking for hours once a month. Let's do some everyday sentence training. Imagine you're meeting a neighbor while walking home. You smile and say, "Hi, how's your day going?" Repeat that. "Hi, how's your day going?" They might say, "Pretty good, just finishing some errands." You reply, "That sounds nice. Have a good evening." Again, "That sounds nice. Have a good evening." Now picture yourself in a shop. You want to try something on. You ask, "Excuse me, can I try this shirt on?" Repeat, "Excuse me, can I try this shirt on?" The shop assistant says, "Of course, the fitting rooms are at the back." You answer, "Thank you so much." Again, "Thank you so much." Fluency is not only about speed, it's about comfort. You should feel relaxed as you speak, not like you are performing on stage. That's why I want you to imagine friendly, safe conversations during our practice. You're not in an exam room. You're with someone who wants to listen to you. Let's try something different. I'll give you a sentence, and you'll make a small change to it. Then say it back. Here's the first one. I'm going to the park this afternoon. Now change the place and time. For example, I'm going to the library tomorrow. Try your own version out loud. Good. Here's another. I had pasta for dinner last night. Change it, maybe. I had chicken for dinner last night. Or, I had pasta for lunch today. This exercise trains your brain to think in English. You take the sentence structure and adjust it. Just like changing clothes on the same body. The frame stays the same, but the details change. Let's practice with feelings. I'll say, I'm feeling happy today because the sun is shining. You try changing the reason. Maybe, I'm feeling happy today because I talked to my best friend. Or, I'm feeling happy today because I finished my work early. By doing this, you're creating hundreds of possible sentences from just one example. That's real speaking flexibility. It's what makes you sound fluent in many situations, without memorizing hundreds of individual lines. Another thing that will help you speak more fluently is to listen to yourself as you talk. Many learners only focus on what to say, but not on how it sounds. When you hear yourself speak, you notice your rhythm, your pauses, and even your confidence level. Let's practice a rhythm exercise. I'll say a sentence slowly, and I want you to repeat it with the same timing and pauses. I love learning English every single day. Again, I love learning English every single day. Now let's make it smoother. I love learning English every single day. This exercise is like music. When the rhythm is right, the listener feels comfortable. Your words sound natural, not rushed or broken. Now, let's imagine a cafe scene. You walk in, and your friend is already there. You smile and say, "Hey, sorry I'm late. The traffic was really bad." Repeat that with me. "Hey, sorry I'm late. The traffic was really bad." Your friend says, "No problem. I just ordered us some coffee." You reply, "Perf. Thank you. I really needed one." Again, Perfect, thank you. I really needed one. When you add natural expressions like, no problem, perfect, or that's great, your English feels warmer and more real. These are not just textbook phrases. They are words people use every day without thinking. Let's do a quick reaction practice. I'll say something, and you respond naturally. I passed my driving test. You could say, that's amazing. Congratulations. Repeat that. That's amazing. Congratulations. I'm feeling a bit tired today. You might say, I hope you can rest soon. Repeat. I hope you can rest soon. My family is coming to visit next week. You could say, that sounds wonderful. I hope you have a great time with them. Repeat that. That sounds wonderful. I hope you have a great time with them. These little responses are conversation glue. They keep the flow going and show the other person that you are engaged and interested. One way to make your English sound more natural is to use connecting words. Words like because, so, but, and make your sentences smoother and less choppy. For example, instead of saying, I stayed home, it was raining, you can say, I stayed home because it was raining. Let's practice with because. I'll start. I'm learning English because I want to travel more confidently. Repeat that. I'm learning English because I want to travel more confidently. Now you try making your own sentence, starting with I'm learning English because, and add your reason, now with so. It was very hot, so we went swimming at the beach. Repeat. It was very hot, so we went swimming at the beach. Your turn. Make a new sentence with so, with but. I like coffee, but I don't drink it every day. Repeat that. I like coffee, but I don't drink it every day. Make your own sentence using but. With and. I went to the market and bought some fresh vegetables. Repeat. I went to the market and bought some fresh vegetables. Now create your own example with and. These little connectors are the secret to keeping conversations flowing. Without them, your sentences sound short and disconnected. With them, your speech sounds fluid and easy to follow. Let's put it all together in a short conversation. Imagine you're talking to a friend. You say, I didn't go to the park today because it was raining. They reply, yeah, it rained a lot, so I stayed home too. You answer, but tomorrow looks sunny, and we can go for a walk. Repeat the whole conversation with me. Fluency is about building these little habits. Every time you speak, think about how you can join your ideas together, instead of stopping after every thought. It makes you sound more confident and more like a native speaker. Now let's do a quick imagination exercise. Picture yourself arriving at an airport in another country. You need to speak to the immigration officer. They ask, what is the purpose of your visit? You reply, I'm here on vacation because I want to explore the city and learn about its history. They ask, how long will you stay? You answer, I'll stay for 2 weeks so I can see all the main attractions. You see how because and so help give clear, full answers. They also make your speaking feel richer. When you want to speak fluently, it's also important to practice reacting quickly in conversations. Quick reactions make you sound confident. Even if you're speaking slowly, you don't always need a long answer. Sometimes just a short, Warm reply is enough. Let's practice some quick replies. I'll give you a situation, and you'll respond right away. Your friend says, I just got a new job. You can say, That's great news. Repeat, That's great news. Someone says, I'm feeling really tired today. You could answer, I hope you can get some rest. Repeat, I hope you can get some rest. A colleague says, I'm going on vacation next week. You might respond, Lucky you, enjoy your trip. Repeat that. Lucky you, enjoy your trip. Quick responses like these keep the conversation alive. They show interest and friendliness, and they give you time to think, if you want to add more. Now, let's practice expanding those quick answers into fuller ones. If your friend says, I just got a new job, you could say, That's great news. What kind of work will you be doing? This not only responds, but also invites the other person to keep talking. If someone says, I'm feeling really tired today, you might reply, I hope you can get some rest. Have you been working late? Again, you're opening space for more conversation. If a colleague says, I'm going on vacation next week, you could say, Lucky you. Enjoy your trip. Where are you going? Adding a question keeps things moving naturally. Now, let's switch to role-play practice. Imagine you're meeting a friend at a cafe. You say, Hi, it's so good to see you again. Repeat, Hi, it's so good to see you again. They answer, It's been too long. How have you been? You reply, I've been doing well, just busy with work and studying English. Repeat, I've been doing well, just busy with work and studying English. Your friend says, That's great. Are you free this weekend? You reply, Yes, I am. Let's plan something fun. Again, Yes, I am. Let's plan something fun. These role-play conversations are your chance to feel the rhythm of real speaking. The more you do them, the more automatic your responses will become. Let's imagine you're at the train station and you need to buy a ticket. You walk up to the counter and say, Hi, I'd like a ticket to London, please. Repeat, Hi, I'd like a ticket to London, please. The ticket agent says, What time would you like to travel? You answer, I'd like the next available train, please. Again, I'd like the next available train, please. The agent says, That will be the 10:30 train. Would you like a return ticket? You reply, Yes, please. I'd like a return ticket for this evening. Repeat, Yes, please. I'd like a return ticket for this evening. By practicing these everyday scenarios, you train your mind to respond smoothly. You don't have to think about each word. They simply come out because you've rehearsed them many times. Now imagine you're meeting someone new at a networking event. You shake hands and say, Hi, I'm Natasha. Nice to meet you. Repeat, Hi, I'm Natasha. Nice to meet you. They reply, Nice to meet you too. What do you do? You answer, I work in education, and I create content to help people learn English. Again, I work in education, and I create content to help people learn English. They say, That sounds interesting. How long have you been doing that? You reply, I've been doing it for about 3 years, and I really enjoy it. Repeat, I've been doing it for about 3 years, and I really enjoy it. Role plays like these help you practice common questions and answers that come up in many conversations. And the more you rehearse, the more natural you will sound in real life. Let's do one more scene. Imagine you're at a hotel check-in desk. You say, "Good evening. I have a reservation under the name Khan." Repeat. "Good evening. I have a reservation under the name Khan." The receptionist says, "Welcome. May I see your ID and credit card?" You answer, "Of course. Here they are." Again, "Of course. Here they are." They say, "Thank you. Your room is on the 5th floor. Breakfast is served from 7 to 10. You reply, "Perfect. Thank you for letting me know." Repeat, "Perfect. Thank you for letting me know." Notice how polite expressions like, "Of course," and "Thank you for letting me know" make your English sound professional and friendly. Let's imagine you're at a restaurant with a friend. The waiter comes to your table and says, "Good evening, are you ready to order?" You reply, "Yes, I'll have the grilled chicken with vegetables, please." Repeat, "Yes, I'll have the grilled chicken with vegetables, please." The waiter says, "Would you like anything to drink?" You answer, "Yes, I'll have a glass of water, please." Again, "Yes, I'll have a glass of water, please." Your friend says, "I think I'll have the pasta." You smile and say, "That sounds delicious. I might try that next time." Repeat, "That sounds delicious. I might try that next time." Now imagine you've finished your meal, and the waiter asks, "Would you like any dessert?" You reply, "No, thank you. I'm full." Repeat, "No, thank you. I'm full." Then you add, "Could we have the bill, please?" Again, "Could we have the bill, please?" Polite restaurant phrases are some of the most useful you can learn because you might use them while traveling, meeting friends, or even on special occasions. When you can say them naturally, it makes the experience smoother and more enjoyable. Let's move to another scene. You're calling a friend to make weekend plans. You say, "Hi, are you free this Saturday?" Repeat, "Hi, are you free this Saturday?" They answer, "Yes, I think so. Why?" You reply, "I was thinking we could go to the beach if the weather is nice." Again, "I was thinking we could go to the beach if the weather is nice." Your friend says, "That sounds great. What time?" You respond, "Let's meet at 10 in the morning so we can spend the whole day there." Repeat, "Let's meet at 10 in the morning so we can spend the whole day there." Making plans is a very common conversation type, and practicing it helps you feel more comfortable suggesting ideas, agreeing, or changing plans in English. Now let's imagine you're at a shop returning something you bought. You say, "Hello, I bought this shirt yesterday, but it's too small. Could I exchange it for a larger size?" Repeat, "Hello, I bought this shirt yesterday, but it's too small. Could I exchange it for a larger size?" The shop assistant says, "Of course. Do you have the receipt?" You reply, "Yes, here it is." Again, "Yes, here it is." They say, "We have the larger size in stock. Would you like to try it on?" You answer, "Yes, please. That would be great." Repeat, "Yes, please. That would be great." When you rehearse these realistic situations, you're not just learning words, you're preparing your brain and voice for real interaction. That's how fluency grows. Let's imagine you're at the airport. checking in for a flight. You approach the counter and say, "Good morning. I'm checking in for my flight to Dubai." Repeat. "Good morning. I'm checking in for my flight to Dubai." The airline staff asks, "May I see your passport and ticket, please?" You reply, "Of course. Here they are." Again, "Of course. Here they are." They ask, "Do you have any luggage to check in?" You answer, "Yes, just one suitcase." Repeat, "Yes, just one suitcase." The staff member says, "All right, your flight will board at gate 12. Here is your boarding pass." You respond, "Thank you very much." Again, "Thank you very much." Now, let's move to a coffee shop. You walk up to the counter and say, "Hi, could I get a cappuccino with oat milk, please?" Repeat, "Hi, could I get a cappuccino with oat milk, please?" The barista says, "Sure. Would you like it hot or iced?" You answer, "Hot, please." Again, "Hot, please." They ask, "Would you like any pastries with that?" You say, "Yes, I'll have a croissant, please." Repeat, "Yes, I'll have a croissant, please." The barista says, "That will be $6.50. You reply, "Here you go." Again, "Here you go." Now imagine, you're visiting a friend's house. You arrive and say, "Hi, thank you for inviting me over." Repeat, "Hi, thank you for inviting me over." Your friend says, "It's great to see you. Come in." You respond, "Wow, your home looks beautiful." Again, "Wow, your home looks beautiful." They ask, "Would you like something to drink?" You answer, "Yes, some water would be great. Thank you." Repeat, "Yes, some water would be great. Thank you." Let's do another role play. You're at a pharmacy, buying medicine. You say, "Hello, could I get some pain relief tablets, please?" Repeat, "Hello, could I get some pain relief tablets, please?" The pharmacist says, "Of course. Do you need anything else?" You reply, "No, that's all. Thank you very much." Again, "No, that's all. Thank you very much." They ask, "Would you like the small or large pack?" You answer, "I'll take the small pack, please." Repeat, "I'll take the small pack, please." Now picture yourself in a clothing store, asking for help. You say, "Excuse me, could you help me find a jacket in size medium?" Repeat, "Excuse me, could you help me find a jacket in size medium?" The shop assistant says, "Sure, what color are you looking for?" You answer, "Something dark, maybe navy or black." Repeat, "Something dark, maybe navy or black." They say, "We have a few options. Follow me." You respond, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it." Again, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it." These short, realistic exchanges prepare you for real situations where you have to speak clearly and politely. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel in the moment. Let's imagine you're at the post office sending a package. You step up to the counter and say, "Hello, I'd like to send this package to Canada." Repeat, "Hello, I'd like to send this package to Canada." The clerk asks, "Would you like standard delivery or express?" You reply, "Express, please. It's urgent." Again, "Express, please. It's urgent." They ask, "Do you need to insure the package?" You answer, yes, please, I'd like to insure it for $200. Repeat, yes, please, I'd like to insure it for $200. The clerk says, all right, here's the form you need to fill out. You reply, thank you, I'll do that now. Again, thank you, I'll do that now. Now picture yourself asking for directions in a new city. You stop someone on the street and say, excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the museum? Repeat, excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the museum? They reply, sure, go straight ahead for 2 blocks, then turn left. You answer, thank you very much, I really appreciate your help. Again, thank you very much, I really appreciate your help. Next, imagine you're in a taxi. The driver says, where would you like to go? You reply, please take me to Central Station. Repeat, please take me to Central Station. The driver asks, do you want the fastest route or the cheapest? You say, the fastest route, please. Repeat, the fastest route, please. Now let's practice at the doctor's office. You say, good morning. I have an appointment with Dr. Ahmed at 10 a.m. Repeat, good morning. I have an appointment with Dr. Ahmed at 10 a.m. The receptionist says, yes, please take a seat and the doctor will call you shortly. You respond, thank you very much. Again, thank you very much. When you meet the doctor, they ask, what seems to be the problem? You reply, I've been having headaches for the past 3 days. Repeat, I've been having headaches for the past 3 days. They ask, have you taken any medicine? You answer, just some painkillers, but they haven't helped much. Repeat, just some painkillers, but they haven't helped much. Now, imagine you're at a job interview. The interviewer says, tell me a little about yourself. You reply, I'm a motivated and hardworking person, and I'm passionate about helping people learn new skills. Repeat, I'm a motivated and hardworking person, and I'm passionate about helping people learn new skills. They ask, why do you want to work here? You answer, Becca, I admire your company's mission, and I believe my skills and experience match the role perfectly. Repeat, because I admire your company's mission, and I believe my skills and experience match the role perfectly. Finally, let's practice a friendly goodbye. You're leaving a friend's house and you say, thank you for having me. I had a wonderful time. Repeat, thank you for having me. I had a wonderful time. They reply, I'm glad you came. Let's do this again soon. You answer, absolutely. See you soon. Repeat, absolutely. See you soon. Before we wrap up, let's do one last shadowing round together. I'll say a line, and you copy it right away. Speaking English gets easier every day. I feel more confident every time I practice. My English is improving because I use it regularly. I can have conversations without stopping to translate. Now let's make this shadowing longer and more connected. I enjoy learning English because it helps me meet new people and understand different cultures. Repeat. I enjoy learning English because it helps me meet new people and understand different cultures. The more I practice, the more natural my speaking becomes, even in new situations. Again. The more I practice, the more natural my speaking becomes, even in new situations. Shadowing isn't only about repeating the exact words, it's about copying the tone, the pauses, and even the emotion in the voice. Let's try a friendly tone. It's great to see you again. I've missed talking to you. Repeat. It's great to see you again. I've missed talking to you. Now a surprised tone. Really? I had no idea you were moving to another city. Repeat. Really? I had no idea you were moving to another city. Changing tone when you speak makes your English sound alive. A flat voice can make even good sentences sound boring, but a voice with feeling will keep people listening. Nang. Let's move into a scenario at the grocery store. You walk up to the counter and say, "Hi, could you tell me if you have any fresh strawberries today?" Repeat. "Hi, could you tell me if you have any fresh strawberries today?" The shopkeeper says, "Yes, we just got some this morning. They're over there in the fruit section." You reply, "Perfect. Thank you so much." Again, "Perfect. Thank you so much." Now imagine you can't find something. You say, "Excuse me, where can I find the rice?" Repeat, "Excuse me, where can I find the rice?" The employee says, "It's in aisle 5 near the pasta." You respond, "Thanks, I appreciate your help." Again, "Thanks, I appreciate your help. Let's practice making small talk with a shop assistant." They ask, "How's your day going?" You could say, "It's going well, thank you." And yours? Repeat, "It's going well, thank you." And yours? They say, "Not bad, just busy with customers." You answer, "That's good. I hope you get some time to relax later." Again, "That's good. I hope you get some time to relax later." These little exchanges make you sound friendly and confident. Fluency isn't only about speaking fast, it's about sounding natural in everyday interactions. Let's try a travel scenario. You're at a tourist information desk and you say, "Hello, could you recommend some interesting places to visit in this city?" Repeat, "Hello, could you recommend some interesting places to visit in this city?" The staff member says, "Yes, you should definitely see the Old Town and the Central Park." You reply, "Thank you, I'll make sure to visit those." Again, "Thank you, I'll make sure to visit those." Now let's imagine you need to ask about public transport. You say, "Excuse me, could you tell me which bus goes to the train station?" Repeat, "Excuse me, could you tell me which bus goes to the train station?" The person says, "Yes, take bus number 14 from that stop over there." You respond, "Great, thank you for the information." Again, "Great, thank you for the information." Let's move to a workplace scenario. You're in the office, and a colleague comes to your desk. They say, "Hey, do you have a minute to help me with this report?" You reply, "Sure, I can help you. What do you need?" Repeat, "Sure, I can help you. What do you need?" They explain, "I'm not sure how to format this table." You respond, "No problem. Let me show you how to do it." Again, "No problem. Let me show you how to do it." After helping, they say, "Thanks a lot. That was really helpful." You reply, "Anytime. I'm happy to help." Repeat, "Anytime. I'm happy to help." Now imagine you're the one asking for help. You say, "Hi, could you explain this part of the project to me?" Repeat, "Hi, could you explain this part of the project to me?" Your colleague says, "Sure. Here's what we need to do." You answer, "Got it. Thanks for explaining." Again, "Got it. Thanks for explaining." Asking and offering help in English is something you will do in many situations, at work, at school, or even in daily life. Being able to say it politely makes communication smoother. Let's try a social invitation scene. You say to a friend, "Would you like to come over for dinner this Friday?" Repeat, Would you like to come over for dinner this Friday? They say, that sounds great. What time? You reply, come around 7 p.m. I'll be cooking pasta. Again. Come around 7 p.m. I'll be cooking pasta. They say, perfect. Should I bring anything? You answer, just yourself, and maybe a dessert if you want. Repeat, just yourself, and maybe a dessert if you want. Now imagine you're the one receiving an invitation. Someone says, we're having a barbecue this weekend. Do you want to join? You could reply, I'd love to. Thank you for inviting me. Repeat, I'd love to. Thank you for inviting me. Adding a little warmth to your replies makes you sound friendly and enthusiastic. Next, let's role play. A phone conversation. You answer the phone and say, hello, this is Natasha. Repeat, hello, this is Natasha. The person says, hi, is this a good time to talk? You reply, yes, I have a few minutes. What's up? Again. Yes, I have a few minutes. What's up? They explain their reason for calling, and you respond naturally. Thanks for letting me know. I'll take care of it. Repeat. Thanks for letting me know. I'll take care of it. Phone conversations require clear pronunciation because the other person can't see your face or gestures. Practicing them will make you more confident when speaking without visual cues. Let's picture another travel situation. You're checking into a hotel while on vacation. You walk to the front desk and say, good afternoon, I have a reservation under the name Natasha. Repeat. Good afternoon, I have a reservation under the name Natasha. The receptionist smiles and says, welcome, may I see your ID, please? You reply, of course, here it is. Again, of course, here it is. They ask, will you be paying with card or cash? You answer, card, please. Repeat, card, please. After they check you in, they say, your room is ready, here's your key. You reply, thank you very much. Could you tell me where the elevators are? Repeat, thank you very much. Could you tell me where the elevators are? These little questions like, where is, or could you tell me, are very useful in travel and everyday life. Now let's move to a cafe conversation with a friend. Your friend says, it's been a while since we last met. You reply, yes, it has. I've been so busy lately with work and other things. Repeat, yes, it has. I've been so busy lately with work and other things. They ask, busy with what exactly? You answer, I've been working on a big project, and I've also started learning photography. Again, I've been working on a big project, and I've also started learning photography. When you add a little detail, the conversation flows better. Short answers can end a topic quickly. But longer answers invite more questions and interaction. Let's practice a shopping conversation. You're in an electronics store. You say, hi, could you tell me if this phone is on sale? Repeat. Hi, could you tell me if this phone is on sale? The salesperson says, yes, it's 20% off this week. You reply, that's great. I'll take it, please. Again, that's great. I'll take it, please. Now imagine you're asking for a recommendation. You say, excuse me, could you recommend a good local restaurant? Repeat. Excuse me, could you recommend a good local restaurant? The person says, Yes, there's a great place just around the corner that serves traditional food. You respond, that sounds perfect, thank you. Again, that sounds perfect, thank you. Let's practice a short conversation at the library. You say, hi, I'm looking for books about history. Could you help me? Repeat, hi, I'm looking for books about history. Could you help me? The librarian says, sure, they're in section B, near the window. You reply, thanks a lot. I'll go check there. Again. Thanks a lot. I'll go check there. Let's imagine a friendly conversation at the park. You meet a neighbor and say, good morning. How are you today? Repeat, good morning. How are you today? They reply, I'm doing well. Just out for a walk. You respond, that's nice. It's a beautiful day for it. Again, that's nice. It's a beautiful day for it. They ask, do you come here often? You answer, yes. I try to walk here every morning to get some fresh air. Repeat, yes. I try to walk here every morning to get some fresh air. They say, that's a good habit. You reply, it really helps me feel more energetic during the day. Again, it really helps me feel more energetic during the day. Now, let's try a role play. At a clothing store, you say, hi, could I try this jacket in a smaller size? Rep. Eat. Hi, could I try this jacket in a smaller size? The shop assistant says, sure, what size would you like? You reply, a medium, please. Again, a medium, please. They bring it to you and ask, would you like to try it on now? You answer, yes, please. That would be great. Repeat, yes, please. That would be great. Now, picture yourself at the cinema, buying tickets. You say, hello, could I have 2 tickets for the 7 p.m. show, please? Repeat, hello, could I have 2 tickets for the 7 p.m. show, please? The cashier says, sure. Would you like seats in the front or back? You reply, in the middle, if possible. Again, in the middle, if possible. They ask, would you like any snacks or drinks? You answer, yes, I'll have a large popcorn and a bottle of water, please. Repeat, yes, I'll have a large popcorn and a bottle of water, please. Let's move to a dinner party conversation. Someone says, this food is delicious. Did you make it yourself? You could reply, yes, I did. It's a family recipe. Repeat, yes, I did. It's a family recipe. They say, it's amazing. You'll have to share the recipe with me. You respond, of course. I'd be happy to give it to you. Again, of course. I'd be happy to give it to you. Now, let's practice a short, friendly phone call. You answer. Hi, it's Natasha. Repeat. Hi, it's Natasha. The caller says, hi, Natasha. Are you free to talk? You reply, yes, I have a few minutes. Again, yes, I have a few minutes. They ask, do you want to meet for coffee later? You respond, sure. What time works for you? Repeat, Sure? What time works for you? They say, how about 4 p.m.? At the cafe near the library. You reply, perfect. See you then. Again. Perfect. See you then. These short, practical conversations are easy to practice at home and help you be ready for real-life situations without thinking too hard. Let's imagine you're at a train station buying tickets from a machine. You say, okay, I need 1 ticket to the city center. Repeat. Okay, I need 1 ticket to the city center. You press the buttons and the machine asks, return or one way? You reply, one way, please. Again, one way, please. The screen says, would you like to pay with cash or card? You answer, card. Repeat, card. After payment, you say, got it, here's my ticket. Again, got it, here's my ticket. Now picture yourself in a casual conversation with a coworker during lunch. They say, how's your morning been? You reply, busy but productive, I got a lot done. Repeat, busy but productive, I got a lot done. They say, that's good to hear, what's left for the afternoon? You answer, I need to finish a report and prepare for tomorrow's meeting. Again, I need to finish a report and prepare for tomorrow's meeting. Let's practice asking for clarification. You say, sorry, could you repeat that, please? Repeat. Sorry, could you repeat that, please? Or, could you say that more slowly? Repeat. Could you say that more slowly? These are very important for fluency because they show you are listening and want to understand, which keeps communication clear. Now imagine you're in a shop and something is out of stock. You say, excuse me, do you know when this product will be available again? Repeat. Excuse me, do you know when this product will be available again? The shop assistant says, it should arrive next week. You reply, okay, I'll come back then, thank you. Again. Okay, I'll come back then, thank you. Let's move to a street market. You approach a stall and say, hi, how much are these apples? Repeat, hi, how much are these apples? The seller says, $2 a kilo. You respond, great, I'll take 2 kilos, please. Again, great, I'll take 2 kilos, please. Now let's practice introducing yourself at a class or workshop. You say, hi everyone, my name is Natasha, and I'm here to improve my English. Repeat. Hi everyone, my name is Natasha, and I'm here to improve my English. Someone asks, where are you from? You answer, I'm from Karachi. It's a lively city with amazing food and friendly people. Again, I'm from Karachi. It's a lively city with amazing food and friendly people. Let's imagine a friendly conversation at a bus stop. You say, do you know what time the next bus to the city center arrives? Repeat. Do you know what time the next bus to the city center arrives? The person says, it should be here in about 10 minutes. You reply, thanks, that's helpful. Again, thanks, that's helpful. Now a simple dinner scene at home. You say to a family member, dinner is ready, could you please set the table? Repeat. Dinner is ready, could you please set the table? They say, sure, what are we having? You reply, we're having chicken curry and rice. Again, we're having chicken curry and rice. Finally, let's end with some positive shadowing affirmations to boost your confidence. Repeat after me. I can speak English clearly and confidently. Every day, my English is getting better. I enjoy practicing and learning new words. I can have conversations without fear or hesitation. I am becoming more fluent with every sentence I speak. Remember, fluency is a journey. Every practice session you complete takes you one step closer to speaking with ease. The key is consistency, patience, and a positive attitude. Keep practicing daily. Talk to people whenever you can, and don't be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are simply signs that you're learning. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this session, make sure to subscribe so we can keep learning together. Keep speaking, keep improving, and I'll see you in the next lesson.